All right, so now I'm going to show you how to create buttons like these course buttons here. I'll go back to this course real quick. So to create buttons like this for your course. So the course that I'm creating buttons for is this the course that I've used to make the banner and the course image icons. And I have videos, YouTube videos for both of these on how to create and put them in the course on my YouTube channel. So starting off, wanting to keep in the same color scheme to make sure that it all looks good is I am going to use Canva, and I'm going to create a new design, and I choose logo because it's a good size. And um, if you click elements here on the side, you can do, there may be some buttons, actual buttons, or let's see if we can do circle. So I like the two-tone circles. There's a lot of different ones. Any of these will work. And you can actually use the GIFs for buttons as well, but we're going to stay simple. And I'm going to show you how to use this one right here. So just take the corners and drag all the way to fill the entire white space of the canvas. And I'm going to want to use the same colors that are in my course. So I'm going to minimize, I'm going to pull this tab out, and I'm going to minimize it so I can, let's see, I'll have to go back here. Let me go back to my course, and I'm going to go back to my Canva design. So I'm going to want to change this blue. So if I click the blue here and I choose this color picker, I can go over to my course. So I'm going to select this little pick a color right here from the design. So anywhere on your screen, that's the color that it's going to pick. So even this orange bottle that I have on my desk. So I like this pink color, so I'm going to hover right here and select that for the outside. And just to make sure that it's the same color blue, I'm going to go back to the color picker and I'm going to select, oops, I didn't change it. And then I have to select the gray, and you know what, maybe I'll do white and then I'll do a blue font. So I'm going to go ahead and, to make it easier to see, I'm going to go ahead and maximize, and I'm going to go here to text, and you can just go ahead and add a heading and double click on, and you could put daily work, and you can change the fonts here. So there's a whole bunch of different fonts. I do have a pro account, so you can, but there's a lot of fonts available with the free ones. So and my favorite font is Athens Light. And I like to bold it just to make it stand out a little bit more. And you can size it up. And when you get the crossbars, you can go ahead and move it around. And I'm going to click on that and select it and make it blue. And there's also some different effects. So you can do the glow or the neon. And let's see, we might be able to make that a little bit bigger. And you can play around with this. Well, I guess that wasn't smart. And you can do maybe a drop shadow. So there's all different kinds of things, different elements you can choose. For this one, I do like the drop shadow. I think that works well, and I'm going to change the offset just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and download this button. I think, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and download. Keep it as a PNG, that's the suggested format. And you want to select transparent background because that's going to take out this white from here. And you can go ahead and hit download. And because it's already here, I want a calendar button. So I'm just going to change my title to calendar. I'm going to go here. All my settings are already fixed. I'm going to select calendar, and I'm going to keep it at this, but I want to make it a little bit smaller so it all fits on the one line. And I'm going to center that. And I'm going to download transparent background. So now I have a total of 2 buttons ready to go. And they're in my download section. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. Now in Schoology, I always click the tab, right click and duplicate because I like to have where I'm working on one side and I like to work in the other side. So it's duplicated here. So I'm going to go to resources. And this is where I want to put my, my button. So I'm going to go ahead and work in this collection here for the lit circles. And I'm going to add a page. And you could put course buttons. And you want to go to a table. So I have 2 buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and do I want them side by side. So I'm going to do a 2 by 1. You can get that diagonal arrow and drag it out a little bit so you can see where you're working. So put your cursor in one of them, insert content, image media, attach file, and you'll go to your downloads if it's not in there right away. So I'm going to go here to daily work and hit OK. All right, so this button's very large. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to select it, make it blue, and click this little image icon. And I'm going to change the dimensions to 150 by 150 and hit update. For some reason, they always have this little space here. So I'm going to just go ahead and delete that out. And then I'm going to go ahead. You don't have to do that actually. So I'm going to put my cursor in this other section here, this other cell, insert content, image media, attach, and I'm going to go to my downloads and get the calendar, and I'm going to open the file, and again I'm going to resize this to 150 by 150 and update and take that space out. And so right now, if I were to use this as is, the table would show, and I don't want the table to show. So I'm going to go ahead and select my table, and right here on the border, I'm just going to check off of it and hit submit. All right, so now in the bottom is where my course buttons are. So I'm going to want to take these buttons. So right now I'm in my resources, my personal resources. So I want to put the buttons here in this course. Okay, so I'm going to go to, I'm still in my resources, and I'm going to go to the cog wheel, add to course, and I'm going to select the course, and I don't want them in a folder because I want them straight on that main page. So I'm going to hit add. All right, so I'm going to go back to my course on this other tab, and I'm going to hit refresh. All right, so here's my buttons, and right now they appear as a link, but I want them to actually show up as buttons. So I'm going to go here to the edit cogwheel, edit, and I'm going to go right here. It says, if I click it, it says display inline. And when I display inline and I hit save changes, they now show up on my page. Check out my next YouTube video to see how to hyperlink these buttons.